Hello, fellow peasants. Tonight I'll be reviewing 1972's The Godfather. Alright guys, so I watched The Godfather. This came out in 1972, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, Robert Duvall. I mean, there's tons of big name Michael Caine, I think is his name in it. I think the dad from Elf. Maybe I got that name wrong. Anyway, so what is The Godfather about? Well, first of all, this is my first time watching it, actually. A guy at work, my friend Chris, he was like, "You've never seen The Godfather?" I'm like, "No, but I plan on buying the 4K trilogy box set." And he's like, "Well, hold on. I've got the digital codes. I'll just give you the digital codes and you go check these out." And he was pretty much like, for how much you talk about movies and stuff, it's like a fucking crime that you have not seen The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. And he pretty much told me to just not worry about Part 3. So anyway, this is my first time watching it. What is the film about? Well, basically it's about this mob family who have their hands in various pots, different ways to make money. And the head of the family, he gets attacked, he gets shot in the street, he's in the hospital, there are multiple attempts made on his life. His son, who is in the who just got back from the military, who's played by Al Pacino, his son Michael, who's not really part of the family business. He wants to stay out of it. He's a good guy. He's not into the whole mob thing. He's not a violent person. He steps up and he takes revenge on the people who have made attempts on his father's life, and he takes over the family business. So he goes from being a good guy who's not involved in the mob all the way to now he's running it. What do I like? What do I not like about The Godfather? First of all, I really love the cinematography in this. This film is beautifully shot. There's a nice layer of film grain in this. The 4K transfer, I know I've only watched the digital version, but just from the digital version alone, this 4K looks great. The amount of detail, the fine film grain throughout, the amount of detail in this, the HDR looks fantastic. There's some scenes where I'm just like, this looks, it just looks beautiful. There's just the cinematography, the shots, everything about the image just looks like almost like a painting. It's gorgeous. Okay. So the film looks great. The acting in it is 100% amazing. Everyone does a great job in this. The makeup that they put on Marlon Brando's face, even in 4K, like I'm looking and I'm like, he just looks that old. Sometimes with upgrades to new formats, prosthetics and effects in general can start to look fake the more of a digital image that you have. But surprisingly, even in 4K, Marlon Brando's face still looks old. And that's saying a lot for prosthetics from 51 years ago now. So really impressive performances, impressive, usually I talk about kills when it comes to slasher movies and stuff, but man, the violence in this. I mean, the horse head, the guy Chris, who let me have the digital codes, told me today that was a real horse head that they got that was like, the horse was going off for slaughter anyway, but they ended up getting this horse head and they put the horse head in this guy's bed as like some sort of omen or sign they're going to kill him, which is really, it's a fucked up scene. He wakes up in bed and there's blood all over him. The kills in this are just brutal. Now maybe and this is coming from someone who watches a lot of horror films. This film is buck nasty, okay? what else did I like? I like the story. I like the idea. I like the overall idea of the mob, family business. Son doesn't really want to have much to do with it, but then when his father gets into trouble and people are trying to kill him, he seeks revenge. He has to run off to Italy to hide because he kills a police officer in the film. Like, he shoots 2 cops in the film, so he has to flee the U.S., and he goes off to Italy for a while and marries this whole other woman, does this whole thing, and then eventually he comes back to run the family business after X amount of time has passed. And so the story is great. What do I not like about The Godfather? One last thing I do like. For it being 3 hours long, it doesn't feel 3 hours long. This movie moves. So the pacing is excellent. Okay, now for the things I don't like. Some of the stuff, like them doing a favor, like the whole horse head kill, like that was cool. Like the horse head scene is creepy, but it just seems odd. Like, a lot of time is devoted to like this Hollywood director that doesn't want to give someone in their family a job in a movie. Like, basically he comes to The Godfather and he's like, they don't want to give me the lead role. They don't want to put me in this movie. And they're like, all right, we'll go rough this guy up for you. Like, I don't know. It's just like, that seems kind of like a petty ass mission. Like, maybe I didn't quite understand all the circumstances around that, but it just seemed to me like, why are you fucking bothering? Why are you wasting your time? Like, you're potentially going to murder somebody so that you can just get somebody a role in a movie. So that seemed pretty trivial to me. Something the mob probably really wouldn't give a shit about. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I'm not in the mob. And then Michael's arc. As much as I like the idea of Michael having an arc, going from someone who's not involved in the family business at all the way to running it, I think, especially with a 3-hour runtime, that could have been a smoother transition. I think that he kind of, once his dad gets, a threat on his life while he's in the hospital, he jumps really quick to like, I'm going to go blow these 2 dudes. I'm going to go kill these 2 cops. I'm going to go blow these guys' brains out. And I think that he goes from 0 to 100 a little too quick to be completely believable. Okay, I'm not saying that people can't snap and people don't have gut reactions and go and do things, but to go from telling his girlfriend or whoever, like, I'm not them, that's my family, baby, that's not me, like, I'm not part of any of that, like, I'm a good guy, right? All the way to like shooting 2 cops in the head in public. Like, that's dude went from being like a freaking choir boy to gangster real fucking quick. And I just think that could have been smoothed out a little bit, and they had plenty of time to do that right. Like, there's a 3-hour runtime here. They had plenty of time to make that arc more believable and smoothed out. But all in all, guys, I really enjoyed it. Do I think that it's as fantastic as its reputation gives it? I can see at the time, before there were any other gangster films, this being, top of the line, riding the edge, being an edgy film. But 50 some years later, it's hard to watch this in hindsight and get the full impact of what the film probably did in 1972. It's the same as trying to get the full impact of going back and watching The Exorcist. And only people in 1973 who were in that movie theater back then can get the full impact of The Exorcist. And I feel like that's the same way maybe with the violence portrayed in The Godfather, okay? There's just been so many imitators since then. But all in all, if I had to rate The Godfather on a 1 to 10, I would probably give it a 8.5 out of 10. I really liked it. Would I say that it is one of my favorite films of all time? No. Would I watch it again? Yes. I will probably go and still buy the physical copies of the trilogy, even though I have the digital copies that he gave me. So far, I like the first film enough that I probably still will go out and buy the physical disc because I think it is a good film. I think it is worth owning. It is. I mean, it's the fucking Godfather, and I can't believe it took me so long to finally get around to watching it. But anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think about the Godfather. Anyway, have a good one, peasants. Peace out. Bye bye.